Hello everybody and welcome to another vocabulary lesson of the Greek language. Today we are going to talk about family. As you know, there are many words that describe family relationships, but we are only going to focus on the ones used more often. So let us begin. The very first word for today is father. Father is masculine and it is translated as pateras. Ras, pateras. Next on the list is mother. Mother is feminine and it is translated as mitera. Mitera. Next is son. Son is masculine and it is translated as γιος. It is only one syllable, so it is not particularly hard. You just have to pay a little more attention on the way γάμα is pronounced. Next is daughter. Daughter is feminine and it is translated as κόρη. Κόρη. Next is child. Child is neuter. I think it's called neuter, and it is translated as παιδί. One interesting fact about the word child is that if you go to rural areas of Greece or in general to small villages and you ask the elderly, for example, how many children do you have, the answer you will get might look something like this. I have one child and two daughters. Of course, the word child doesn't differentiate between daughters and sons. It could mean both. But in years long gone, it did mean only sons. Anyway, I just mentioned it because I thought it was kind of interesting. Next is brother. Brother is masculine and it is translated as αδερφός. Αδερφός. You might also hear people pronounce it αδελφός with lambda. In fact, you might hear it quite often, so don't think it is wrong. It's just another way of pronouncing and it's also correct. Next is sister. Sister is feminine and it is translated as αδερφή. Αδερφή. Once again, you might hear it as αδελφή. It is exactly the same, nothing changes. Next is grandfather. Grandfather is masculine and it is translated as παππούς. Παππούς. And of course, next on the list is grandmother. Grandmother is feminine and it is translated as γιαγιά. Γιαγιά. If you know any Greek Americans, you might have heard them say something like, oh, I'm gonna visit Yaya this summer, it's gonna be great. By Yaya, they mean, of course, their grandmother. It's just they change the emphasis where they say Yaya instead of Yaya, which is actually the correct way to pronounce the word. Anyway, next is cousin. Now, cousin is in English has two possible translations, and it doesn't differentiate between a boy and a girl. So you will have to figure it out from the context the word is being used. However, in Greek we use a different word for its translation. If it is a guy, we say ξάδερφος. If it is a girl, we say ξαδέρφη. Now, as you can see, there are three different ways with which you can pronounce the word ξάδερφος. The first way, εξάδερφος, it is rarely used. It sounds too formal and you will almost never hear it in everyday language. The other two ways, if you pay a little bit more attention, they have to do with different ways the word αδερφός, brother, is pronounced. Ξάδερφος is a composite word and one of the two words used to form the word ξάδερφος is αδερφός, brother. So since brother can be pronounced either αδερφός or αδελφός, In a similar manner, you can say xaderphos or xadelphos with a lambda. Okay, I think we analyzed that word thoroughly enough. So we are going to continue with the word xaderphi. Xaderphi is feminine, and like the word xaderphos, there are three ways you can hear it pronounced. Exaderphi sounds a bit too formal, and xaderphi or xadelphi is the way you will most likely hear it. If you are confused which way to use, just say xaderphos or xaderphi. Everyone will understand you and you will not have any problem. Now we will continue with the word uncle. Uncle is masculine and it is translated as theos. 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 And of course we also have aunt. Aunt is feminine and it is translated as thea. 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 The next word is nephew. Nephew is masculine and it is translated as ανιψιός. 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 The next word is niece. Niece is feminine and it is translated as ανιψιά. 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 The last two words for today are gonna be father-in-law and mother-in-law. Sorry about that, I have a little bit of a sore throat. Anyway, father-in-law is masculine and it is translated as πεθερός. 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 Mother-in-law is feminine and it is translated as πεθερά. 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 I don't know what is the culture in other countries, but mother-in-laws in Greece are not particularly liked. Of course, this has to do with the fact that Greek mothers are overprotective. On the other hand, which mother isn't? Anyway, and with that, I am at the end of my lesson for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked it. Any comments, criticisms, questions that you may have, please leave it on the comments below. See you around.